At a House Oversight Committee hearing last week, Representative Gerry Connolly spoke about abortion. The Virginia Democrat said that it was ironic that they were discussing, quote, how much we should suppress women's rights, while women in Iran are protesting for their rights. Representative Connolly spoke about hospitals being put in difficult positions when it comes to protecting the life of the mother. The House hearing comes after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, sending abortion to the states.
Recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. One does not know where to begin. As we speak, women all over Iran are protesting against the suppression of their rights under the regime of the Ayatollah. And here we are debating how much we should suppress women's rights. What an irony. When we adopted the Bill of Rights, we didn't make a moral statement. Take the First Amendment. The fact that I believe in broad freedom of speech does not mean I approve of every form of speech. It's not a moral statement. It's a legal statement that recognizes a pluralistic society in which choices are complex, and it's not our role to judge and restrict the rights of the American people, including more than half of them, women. It's complicated. It's not as simple as you would have us believe, Dr. Wubenhorst. And for you to say, as an OBGYN, this is not a health care issue, is an astounding statement and would come as news to most OBGYNs in this country, many of whom, as Dr. Kumar pointed out, in states that have banned abortion, are wrestling with the provision of health care, many of them not wanting any longer to serve in those states because they're at legal jeopardy, choosing between the health care they provide their patients and what their lawyers are telling them is or is not legal. And this is not theoretical. In South Carolina, a 19-year-old came to the emergency room after her water broke, after just 15 weeks of pregnancy. Once the hospital attorneys intervened, they informed the doctors they'd be legally at risk if they extracted the fetus, exposing this woman to a greater than 50% chance she'd lose her uterus and a 10% chance she'd develop sepsis and possibly die. In Nebraska, a 34-year-old woman's water broke before the fetus developed lungs. Despite her and her husband's desire to end an unviable pregnancy, the doctor informed her that he had no choice but to deliver the fetus. Weeks later, the woman went into labor. 15 minutes after that delivery, both parents were in deep mourning. I'd ask people to pay attention to a video from Miss Weller of Texas. If you could play the video.
Hello, Elizabeth Weller, and I'm from Houston, Texas. When I became pregnant, my husband and I would have never imagined the nightmare that would ensue. At 19 weeks, my water unexpectedly broke. After we arrived at the ER, it was made clear to us that our daughter, Theodora, would not survive this pregnancy. We were given a choice, though: induce labor and terminate this wanted pregnancy, or return home and wait for infection to worsen. However, when we had made the choice that we felt was best for our family, our terrible experience was exacerbated. Fearing a legal backlash from the state of Texas, our hospital refused to allow our doctor to perform the medically necessary abortion and instead discharged me, instructing us to return when my infection worsened. In the following days, we constantly checked for signs of aggravated infection while we mourned the loss of our daughter. During this time, I experienced a consistent flow of amniotic fluid draining from my body. This was a constant reminder of my baby's impending death. Although my life and ability to have any future children was put in danger, my life was not in enough immediate danger for the state of Texas to allow for our doctors to perform a medically necessary procedure.
Thank you. Dr. Verma, are these three examples I gave, and there are so many more, are they unusual? They're not really, common.
Thank you for that question. We are absolutely seeing these situations come up day after day. We're seeing people that are diagnosed with terrible medical conditions during their pregnancy that can't access the abortion care that they need.
So
We
I'm gonna
are definitely-
interrupt you because my time's gonna run out, and I want to ask you one more question. But so it's not as simple as Dr. Wibbenhart would have us believe, that it's simple termination of life. That's all it is.
No, we are often running into these situations where we need to provide this care to protect the health and well-being of our patient, the pregnant person in front of us.
And let me just ask you, as an OBGYN, in your view, is this a healthcare issue?
Absolutely, and that is the overwhelming consensus of the medical community, including the American Board of OBGYNs that certifies all of us OBGYNs at this table, and the American College of OBGYNs. So this is the overwhelming consensus of the scientific medical community, is that abortion is absolutely healthcare.
I thank you, and I yield back, Madam Chairwoman.